Hi friends, welcome to Goal UPSC channel. In this video, we will start the second chapter of Geography 6th class, that is the latitudes and longitudes. If you see the chapter, in this chapter, there was there was an introduction of about the globe. Globe is the true model of the earth in the miniature form, that is in the small form. Globe is different in sizes and types, but it can be rotated as the top spin. If you observe the globe, there are the 2 points on the globe through which needle was passes. That line is called as axis. The 2 points are the north pole and south pole. Next, the imaginary line. There was an if you draw an imaginary line which is running on the globe, which divides globe into two equal parts. That line is called as equator. It is an imaginary circular line, and that two parts are northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Next, if you draw the parallel circles to the line of the equator, that parallel circles up to pole, that is the north pole and south pole, then that lines are called as parallels of latitude. These latitudes are measured in degrees. Equator is the 0 degree latitude. If you see the distance from the equator to the either of these poles, any of the poles, distance from the equator to the north pole or south pole is the 1 by 4th of the circle of the earth. That is 1 by 4th of 360 degrees. That is the 90 degrees. That means 90 degrees northern latitude or north pole, and 90 degrees southern latitude is south pole. All parallels north of the equator are called as north latitudes, and all parallels south of the equator are called as south latitudes. If you see the figure, it is about the earth. In this there are the three zones, that is torrid zone, temperate zone, frigid zone. If you see the image in this, from the equator to 23 and half degree northern latitude, that is the Tropic of Cancer, and below the equator up to the 23 and half degree southern long latitude, that is Tropic of Capricorn. In this area, we can see the sun on midday is exactly overhead. This will happen at least once a year in between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Hence, this area is called as tropical zone or torrid zone. It receives maximum heat. And then next, temperate zone. Temperate zone from in the northern hemisphere, from the 23 and of northern longitude latitude to 66 and of northern latitude. In the southern hemisphere, from the 23 and of southern latitude to 66 and of southern latitude, we see the temperate zone. Here, sunrises are fallen on the earth with the angle. That means the angle of sunrise goes on decreasing towards the pole, because sunrays are fallen on the earth with an angle in the equator or on in the tropical zone with 90 degrees. If you go towards the pole, then the angle of sunrises goes on decreasing, because of the curvy nature of the earth. This area is called as the temperate zone. It receives moderate temperatures in a year, hence it is called as temperate zone. Next is the frigid zone. In the figure, if you observe them from the North Pole to 66.5 degree northern latitudes, in the southern hemisphere from the South Pole to the 66.5 degrees southern long latitude, we can see the frigid zone. Here, because in this area the races are always slanting and provide less heat, which hence it is called as frigid zone. And then longitudes longitudes are the, if you if you want to locate a place exactly on the earth or globe, you need to find out, we need to another lines lines of references which are running from the North Pole to South Pole. Because if you consider only latitudes, then we need to find out whether or we can find out whether on the east and west, but we cannot find out on the north or south. That's why we need a line of references. This all these are also called as meridians of longitudes. The distance between the longitudes are measured in degree of longitudes. That is, the longitudes are measured in degrees. These are the semicircles. If you see the latitudes, they are the circles. The distance between the the distance between the longitudes goes on decreasing if you go towards the poles. That means they meet, all longitudes are definitely met at 0 degree, 90 degree longitude, whether at north pole or south pole. The length of the all semicircles or longitudes are equal, but if you compare with the longitudes are the circles, the length of the circles goes on decreasing if you go towards the pole, and then the distance between the circles are equal towards the entire globe. Then all the countries decided that count should begin from the meridian, which is the 0 degree longitude, which passes through the Greenwich in the where the British Royal Observatory is located. This meridian is also called as prime meridian, which happened in 1884 by international agreement. Then 0 degree and 180 degree meridians divide the earth into two equal halves. The two equal halves are the western hemisphere and the eastern hemisphere. 180 eastern longitude or 180 western longitude, both are same. We have 360 longitudes and then 181 latitudes. Next topic, longitude and time. How can you calculate the time with the longitudes? As earth rotates from west to east, earth rotates from the west to east. The places which are in the east of the Greenwich will be ahead of Greenwich, and that means they are ahead in time. Then the countries which are west in the Greenwich, they are behind in time. Earth rotates 360 degrees in 24 hours. If you see in 1 hour, it rotates 15 degrees. And if you see 1 degree rotates 1 degree, Earth rotates in by 1 degree in 4 minutes. Here, India locate east of the Greenwich. That means India is in ahead time when you compare with Greenwich time. India Greenwich India standard time is 82.5 degree eastern longitude, which is 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich meridian time. Next, standard time. There must be one standard time in every country, because it is needed in order to avoid the confusion of time among the peoples of same country. That's why we need to have the one time throughout the country. Even though there was a difference in the Sundays, falling on Sundays, then we decided in India, 82.5 degree eastern longitude as the Indian standard time. That is the time for the whole country. But if you see the some countries, example USA, Russia and Canada, etc., these are the countries which have the time zones. That means they have more than the one standard times. If you see in the Russia has 11 time zones and America has 5 time zones. This is about the longitudes and latitudes. With this I conclude the chapter. Thank you for watching the video. Let's meet tomorrow.